Welcome! Today, we're diving into the concept of proof of rent payment. Whether you're a tenant, landlord, or simply curious, understanding this topic is essential. Proof of rent payment is more than just a receipt. It's a crucial document that verifies you've paid your rent on time and in full. This evidence can be requested by landlords, property managers, or even financial institutions for various reasons. In this video, we'll explore what counts as proof, why it matters, and how you can provide it when needed. Let's start by defining what exactly proof of rent payment is and why it's so important in the world of renting. Proof of rent payment is any document or record that shows you have paid your rent to your landlord or property manager. This could be a bank statement, a rent receipt, a canceled check, or even an online payment confirmation. The main purpose of this proof is to provide clear evidence that the agreed-upon rent has been paid for a specific period. It's a way to protect both tenants and landlords by keeping a transparent record of all transactions. Next, we'll look at the different forms this proof can take and why each one is valuable. Having proof of rent payment is important for several reasons. For tenants, it serves as protection in case there's ever a dispute about whether rent was paid. For landlords, it helps keep accurate records and can be useful for tax or legal purposes. Additionally, financial institutions may require proof of rent payment if you're applying for a loan or mortgage. It's also helpful when moving to a new rental, as future landlords might ask for evidence of your payment history. Clearly, keeping these records is in everyone's best interest. There are several common types of documents that can serve as proof of rent payment. These include rent receipts provided by your landlord, bank statements showing the rent transfer, canceled checks, and digital payment confirmations from apps or online banking. Each type has its own advantages, but all serve the same purpose: to confirm that payment was made. It's a good idea to keep copies of these documents in a safe place, as you never know when you might need them. A rent receipt is a written acknowledgement from your landlord or property manager that you have paid your rent. It typically includes the date, amount paid, payment method, and the rental period covered. Some landlords provide these automatically, while others may give them upon request. Rent receipts are especially useful if you pay in cash, as they're often the only record of the transaction. Always check that your receipt includes all necessary details to avoid confusion later. Bank statements are another reliable form of proof. When you pay rent via bank transfer, your monthly statement will show the transaction, including the date, amount, and recipient. This is especially helpful if you need to provide proof to a third party, like a lender or new landlord. Make sure the payment is clearly labeled, so it's easy to identify. If possible, keep digital or printed copies of your statements for your records. If you pay your rent by check, a canceled check can serve as proof of payment. Once the check is processed by your bank, it's marked as canceled, showing that the funds were withdrawn and received by your landlord. This method is less common today, but still valid. Always keep copies of your canceled checks, either in physical form or as digital scans, to ensure you have a backup if needed. With the rise of online banking and payment apps, digital payment confirmations have become a popular way to prove rent payment. These confirmations usually include the date, amount, recipient, and a transaction ID. They're easy to save and share, making them convenient for both tenants and landlords. Just make sure to download or screenshot the confirmation after each payment so you have a record in case you need it later. Landlords may request proof of rent payment for several reasons. It helps them keep accurate records, ensures that payments are being made on time, and can be useful for tax reporting. In some cases, landlords might need to show proof of rental income to banks or government agencies. For tenants, providing proof when asked builds trust and helps avoid misunderstandings. It's a simple step that benefits both sides of the rental agreement. Tenants may need to provide proof of rent payment in various situations. For example, when applying for a new rental, landlords often ask for payment history to assess reliability. Banks or lenders might request proof if you're seeking a loan or mortgage. In case of disputes over missed or late payments, having documentation can protect your rights. Keeping organized records ensures you're always prepared, no matter the situation. In some cases, both tenants and landlords may need proof of rent payment for tax purposes. Landlords often use these records to report rental income, while tenants might need them to claim certain deductions, depending on local tax laws. Keeping detailed and accurate records can make tax season much smoother and help avoid any issues with tax authorities. Always consult a tax professional if you're unsure about what documents you need. Legal disputes between tenants and landlords can arise over missed or late payments. In such cases, having clear proof of rent payment is crucial. These documents can be presented in court or mediation to support your case. Without proper proof, it can be difficult to resolve disputes fairly. That's why it's always wise to keep copies of all payment records just in case you ever need them for legal reasons. When applying for a loan or mortgage, lenders often want to see proof of regular rent payments. This helps them assess your financial responsibility and ability to manage monthly payments. Providing bank statements, receipts, or digital confirmations can strengthen your application. Make sure your documents are clear and easy to understand, as this can speed up the approval process and improve your chances of success. If you're moving to a new rental, your prospective landlord may ask for proof of rent payment from your previous place. This helps them verify your reliability as a tenant. Providing a history of on-time payments can make you a more attractive candidate and increase your chances of securing the rental. Always keep your payment records organized and ready to share when needed. Effective proof of rent payment should include key details: the payer's name, the recipient's name, the amount paid, the date of payment, the rental period covered, and the payment method. If possible, it should also include a signature or official stamp from the landlord or property manager. These details help ensure the document is accepted as valid proof by landlords, banks, or other institutions. Let's look at a sample rent receipt. It might read, "Received from John Doe, $1,000 for rent for the month of June 2024, paid on the 1st of June 2024 by bank transfer." It would also include the landlord's name and signature. This simple format covers all necessary details and can be used as valid proof for most purposes. Always check that your receipts are complete and legible. Both digital and paper forms of proof are generally accepted. Digital proofs, like emailed receipts or screenshots of payment confirmations, are easy to store and share. Paper proofs, such as printed receipts or canceled checks, can be kept in a physical file. Choose the method that works best for you, but always make sure your records are organized and accessible when needed. It's important to store your proof of rent payment securely. For digital documents, use cloud storage or a dedicated folder on your computer. For paper documents, keep them in a labeled folder or file cabinet. Regularly back up digital files to prevent loss. Staying organized ensures you can quickly find what you need, whether for a rental application, tax filing, or dispute resolution. A good rule of thumb is to keep your rent payment proof for at least 3 to 5 years. This covers most legal and tax requirements and ensures you have documentation if any issues arise. If you move or change landlords, keep your old records until you're sure they're no longer needed. When in doubt, it's better to keep documents longer than necessary than to discard them too soon. If you lose your proof of rent payment, don't panic. Start by checking your email, bank statements, or payment app history for digital records. If you paid by check, your bank may have copies of canceled checks. If you still can't find proof, contact your landlord or property manager. They may be able to provide a duplicate receipt or confirmation. The key is to act quickly and keep communication open. Sometimes, a landlord may refuse to provide a rent receipt or other proof. In such cases, keep your own records, like bank statements or payment confirmations. In many places, landlords are legally required to provide receipts upon request. If your landlord refuses, check your local laws and consider seeking advice from a tenant rights organization or legal professional. Protecting your interests is important. If you share a rental with roommates, make sure each person has proof of their share of the rent. This can be done by splitting payments and keeping individual receipts or confirmations. Clear records help avoid disputes among roommates and ensure everyone can prove their payments if needed. Communication and organization are key in shared living situations. If you're subletting your rental, it's important to keep proof of both your payments to the main landlord and your subtenant's payments to you. This double layer of documentation protects everyone involved and helps resolve any potential disputes. Always provide receipts to your subtenant and request them from your landlord, so you have a complete record of all transactions. For corporate or business rentals, proof of rent payment is often required for accounting and tax purposes. Companies may need to show these records during audits or when claiming expenses. Digital receipts, bank statements, and official invoices are commonly used. Make sure all documents are properly labeled and stored according to your company's policies. If you're applying for government assistance or housing benefits, you'll likely need to provide proof of rent payment. Agencies use these documents to verify your housing costs and eligibility. Accepted forms include rent receipts, bank statements, or official letters from your landlord. Make sure your documents are up to date and include all required details to avoid delays in your application. If you're renting internationally, proof of rent payment becomes even more important. Different countries may have unique requirements, so always check local regulations. Digital payment confirmations and official receipts are usually accepted. Keep translations of your documents if needed, and make sure they're easily accessible when dealing with foreign landlords or agencies. Short-term rentals, like vacation homes or Airbnb stays, may also require proof of payment. This is especially true if you're seeking reimbursement from your employer or insurance. Digital confirmations from booking platforms, bank statements, or official invoices can all serve as valid proof. Always save your payment records until your stay is complete and any reimbursements are processed. Students renting apartments or dorms may need to provide proof of rent payment for scholarships, financial aid, or visa applications. Rent receipts, bank statements, or official letters from the housing office are usually accepted. Keep your documents organized and ready to submit when applying for financial support or renewing your visa. When moving out, proof of rent payment can help ensure you get your security deposit back. Landlords may require evidence that all rent has been paid before returning your deposit. Provide copies of your receipts or bank statements as needed. Keeping these records can also help resolve any disputes about unpaid rent after you've moved. If your rent increases, keep proof of both the old and new payment amounts. This helps you track changes and ensures you're not overcharged. Updated receipts or bank statements showing the new amount are important for your records. If you notice discrepancies, having detailed proof makes it easier to address the issue with your landlord. If you receive rent assistance from a government or charity program, you may need to provide proof of your own payments as well as the assistance received. This helps agencies verify your eligibility and ensures transparency. Keep all related documents, including letters from the assistance provider and your own payment records, in a safe place. If you need to file an insurance claim related to your rental, proof of rent payment may be required. This could be for claims involving property damage, theft, or loss of use. Insurance companies want to verify your tenancy and payment history, provide clear, organized documents to support your claim, and speed up the process. In rent-to-own agreements, proof of rent payment is especially important. These records show your progress toward ownership and ensure all payments are properly credited. Keep detailed receipts, bank statements, and any correspondence with the property owner. This documentation protects your interests and helps avoid misunderstandings down the line. For commercial rentals, businesses must keep proof of rent payment for accounting, tax, and legal reasons. Official invoices, bank statements, and digital receipts are commonly used. These records are essential for audits, expense claims, and resolving disputes. Make sure your business follows best practices for document storage and organization. When renewing a lease, landlords may ask for proof of consistent rent payments. This helps them assess your reliability and decide whether to offer renewal terms. Provide your most recent receipts or bank statements to demonstrate your payment history. Staying organized makes the renewal process smoother and increases your chances of approval. If you're facing eviction, proof of rent payment can be your best defense. Presenting clear records shows you've met your obligations and can help prevent wrongful eviction. Bring all relevant documents to court or mediation, including receipts, bank statements, and any correspondence with your landlord. Being prepared can make a significant difference in the outcome. In areas with rent control, proof of payment helps ensure compliance with local laws. Tenants and landlords may need to show records to authorities or during inspections. Keep detailed receipts and statements to demonstrate that rent is being paid according to regulations. This protects both parties and helps avoid legal issues. If you receive a rent subsidy, you may need to provide proof of both your own payments and the subsidy received. This ensures transparency and helps agencies verify that funds are being used correctly. Keep all related documents, including subsidy letters and payment receipts, in a safe and organized place. When seeking a rental reference, proof of rent payment can support your application. Landlords often ask for payment history to confirm your reliability. Providing organized records makes it easier for your previous landlord to write a positive reference and for new landlords to trust you as a tenant. Disputes over rent payments can arise for many reasons. Having clear proof of payment helps resolve these issues quickly and fairly. Provide all relevant documents, including receipts, bank statements, and digital confirmations, to support your case. Staying organized and proactive can prevent small misunderstandings from becoming bigger problems. If you're owed a rent refund, proof of payment is essential. This documentation shows what you've paid and helps ensure you receive the correct amount back. Provide copies of your receipts or bank statements to your landlord or property manager. Keeping detailed records makes the refund process smoother and protects your interests. In some cases, you may be eligible for rent deductions, such as for repairs or maintenance. Proof of payment helps document your eligibility and supports your claim. Provide all relevant receipts and correspondence to your landlord or tax authority. Staying organized ensures you receive any deductions you're entitled to. If you're on a rent payment plan, keep proof of each installment. This helps you track your progress and ensures you're meeting the agreed terms. Provide receipts or bank statements for each payment, and keep all correspondence with your landlord. Detailed records protect you in case of misunderstandings or disputes. Many tenants and landlords now use rent receipt apps to generate and store proof of payment. These apps create digital receipts, track payment history, and make it easy to share documents when needed. Choose a reputable app that meets your needs and always back up your data to prevent loss. To wrap up, proof of rent payment is a vital part of renting, protecting both tenants and landlords. Whether you use receipts, bank statements, or digital confirmations, keeping organized records is key. Always include all necessary details. Store your documents securely and know your rights if issues arise. By staying proactive, you'll be prepared for any situation that requires proof of your rent payments. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep your records safe and up to date.